Happy Friday, everyone, and it's a very happy Friday for the U.S. national team. Welcome to Extra Time as we're getting closer to the most anticipated match Houston is hosting. Before we bring in tonight's guest, let's get right to the big story. 2-0 win for the U.S. over Australia. The U.S. scoring right away with some help. 11 minutes in, it's an own goal. Australia knocking the ball in after an impressive run by Flo Balogun, who created it in front. It was just the start the U.S. was hoping for without Christian Pulisic. Then, 43rd minute, U.S. with a rip from outside the box. It was blocked. Alex Freeman goes up, heads it in. First, it was disallowed, but after an official review, it's good thanks to VAR. This victory, not a layup like one analyst predicted, but it is a 2-0 win. And with the victory, a spot in the round of 32 guaranteed. Here's the leaderboard for Group D. The U.S. will top Group D for sure if Turkey does not beat Paraguay later tonight. The reaction here in Houston? Say hello to the fans earlier at pitch 25 following that first goal. We love having that camera inside Brian Ching's place. And now let's spotlight our special guest on the kickoff. What he saw from the U.S. win and what's ahead for the red, white, and blue. Joining us now, live MLS on Apple TV commentator Max Bretos. Max, thanks for being here. I guess the big question is, your big takeaway from this victory over the Aussies?
Well, Jason, it's great to be with you, and your enthusiasm has gotten me even more pumped. I was at a watch party earlier with some friends and neighbors, and still glowing about that. I think that is the takeaway. We have never had a U.S. team in a World Cup win their first two games and have this massive goal differential and have a shutout today and have so many things thrown their direction and respond. This is far from perfect the way they can play. This was an Australia team that was very negative. I have some issues with the way they played, but it's something that you see at the World Cup. But the takeaway is that we are on a historic run. Get on this ride if you're in the United States. Show your colors and get out. And the other takeaway would be, we have a genius as a coach. This Christian Pulisic was never going to play.
Yeah.
Yet we thought an hour before that he might. Then he says no, he's not playing. And then all of a sudden the formation's different. He plays with two forwards for the first time. Threw a complete spanner in the works. This guy knows the head games and the cat and mouse stuff that you have to do at a World Cup. And when I see stuff like that, I realize we're in good hands.
So after two matches now, does this team have a concrete identity in your mind?
That's a good one, Jason, because I don't know. When we saw the first game, and they played two teams that were going to be very defensive, so we want to see this team play against a team that wants to play, a top team. France, England, Spain, Argentina, Brazil. I thought after Paraguay, do the exact same thing against Australia, and then they didn't. It was a different formation, different personnel, different substitution pattern. So I don't know if they have a clear identity. They have a spirit. There is a brotherhood there. They are soaking in all the home field advantages, positives, and minutia. But with the way they play, we don't know. But I think that's a positive. I think Mauricio Pochettino wants to keep people guessing. And now we have the mystery of Christian Pulisic there too, and they're still winning. So I don't know if I know the clear identity, but I'm kind of happy I don't.
And with Pulisic out, did you notice any drop-off in this game within any area, him not being there?
You certainly do. He was so magnificent against Paraguay. He challenges defenders. We don't have a player like that. Tim Weah, Gio Reyna kind of come close. Flo Balogun had a nice moment on the first goal that looked Pulisic-esque the way he beat the Australian defender. If we want to have a successful tournament, we got to play perfect, and we got to have our best players on the field. That is including Christian Pulisic. But obviously it looked different, and I think they would want to go more closer to plan A than plan B. If I was Mauricio Pochettino, I think this was the horse for the course, the way he played against Australia. But obviously Christian Pulisic's a big issue, and we don't know, because I don't think he ever was going to play this game. We just were in the dark about it, and now there's another 5 days, and my gut would say that he's probably not going to play the next game. But hopefully that game is already doesn't mean anything, and the U.S. are already through.
And
as
we are
first place team.
Yeah, and we're feeling your excitement too. So, is this squad where you thought it would be at this point?
I was pretty optimistic, and I thought they'd have a good World Cup, but they've exceeded it by a rung or two. Just the way the first game was the best game. I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment, but that felt like the best game I've seen the U.S. play collectively and on the world stage, a game of that level. Couple that with this, and then the combined result suggests that the U.S. are ahead of even an optimistic curve. So they are good. They have to. The Pulisic thing has to get better. They have to get the good luck of the draw, and I think winning first will do it. But the one thing that I'm also optimistic about, I thought the home field advantage would be big, but it's even bigger than that. And these guys are feeding off of it, and they're going to be more comfortable as this long tournament goes on, and other teams will not. So that's a big advantage for this squad and their hopes of advancing.
And we've seen this team scoring. How's the defense holding up from what you've seen?
Really good, and today was a step in the right direction. Chris Richards, we got to keep an eye on him. He's our best defender. He passes the ball so well, but he was out of action for a month, and then all of a sudden we throw him in the deep end, and he starts these two games. I think they have to keep an eye on him. I think that's why Austin Trusty came in the game late for Mauricio Pochettino to see another defender that could fill a gap for Chris Richards, so they don't put too much workload on him. Matt Freese, the goalkeeper, is a concern just because we haven't seen it. He hasn't played badly, just we haven't seen him do much. He's had to make a couple saves over 2 games, and that's going to change. So defensively, they're good, but there's still an asterisk next to goalkeeper because we haven't had Matt Freese have to do anything. But that time is coming. We hope he's ready for that challenge when it arrives.
And since you've come on, you've mentioned a few things and looking ahead and picking something here and mentioning something there. I guess in a nutshell, what does this team need to do now to have this deep run, a run that so many people now are hoping for and maybe even expecting based on what we've seen?
They got to keep doing what they're doing and growing. And what I mean by that is when you look at these 2 games, you can't look at someone and say, yeah, he didn't have a good game. Everyone played well. I think everyone now has to pick that up a bit. This is a talented team. Their talent matches up against almost every team in this World Cup minus 5 or 6. I know that sounds crazy, but they can play that. And then with the home field advantage, that obviously knocks that up a rung or 2. But no soft spots in this team. From defense to midfield to the attack, everyone is playing their share. And when you look at the history of World Cup, that's how you describe a winning team. The analytics of this U.S. team suggest that they accompany the best teams that have won World Cups. That's what it says after these 2 games. So they have it. They have the secret sauce. They just have to believe. I know this sounds crazy, and I know it sounds too dramatic and cliche, but they got to believe and believe in each other. But you see that brotherhood strengthening. We saw it today, and it's really inspiring to watch.
In like 15, 20 seconds, how do you think the U.S. will approach this final group match against Turkey?
This is going to be the best team. Turkey put their foot in it against the Aussies. I don't know how they lost that game watching the Australians today, but they did. I'm curious to see what they played like tonight, but it's in their head, and I think the U.S. have to use this as a real dress rehearsal to prepare for better teams, which they are going to face. Turkey has elite talent, so you got to go out there and be aggressive. Now, if you already won the group, maybe that changes things, but I would like to see an honest effort from the U.S. I think we'll get it.
Does it get any better than this on a Friday? MLS on Apple TV commentator Max Bretos. Thank you so much for being with us on Extra Time.
Thanks, Jason, and we're proud of our MLS boys that did well. Guys like Alex Freeman and Ricardo Pepi, Tim Ream, and Matt Freese. They're making us proud. We're happy that they are representing our league.
Hey, thanks again. Great seeing you. And this just in, the Netherlands has arrived. The squad heading into its hotel within the Med Center. The Dutch team, number 8 in the FIFA rankings, facing Sweden on Saturday afternoon. Of course, that bus, well, it's very far from being the most famous Dutch bus. And our experts on this show have spoken. Saturday's match is the best one Houston has to offer. Why? Here's why, in their own words.
this one on June 20th. Netherlands, Sweden. Part of it is the Netherlands. They have this march to the game.
The Dutch travel in mass numbers. Streets will be filled with orange.
Best fan experience in the World Cup, bar none.
We bring with the bus a lot of fun for everybody.
You don't have to be a soccer fan to go love that experience.
To the crew of the famous Orange Bus, safe travels and enjoy America.
Matchup here that has the two highest world rankings is this one right here. And this one would be a really great match to watch.
In terms of the actual, if you're a true soccer fan and you want to see a real good game, I think this game here is going to be one of the best games.
And then the nice thing is the contrast is they're playing Sweden, who has two fantastic Premier League strikers playing for them who can score goals.
Come out to Rice, follow the Netherlands, 2-mile walk into NRG.
It is a great time both before, during, and after the game as well.
Get yourself in the stadium 30 minutes early. It's going to be one of the best sporting experiences you've ever had.
And now, after focusing on the Netherlands, let's now provide some equal time on Extra Time. The Swedes are showing out here in Houston. They're at pitch 25 right now with our Luis Ortiz. Luis, what's it like?
Guys, ahead of the game tomorrow between the Netherlands and Sweden, I gotta say, man, the Swedish have shown up. Listen, just walk along with me and check this out. I mean, wow. It's a sea of yellow. Sweden has really took over Houston. Hello, how you doing? Sweden, yes.
Sweden, yes.
How amazing is it for you guys to show up like this? I mean, Sweden has.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Like, we're such a small country, but now we're here. We won 5-1 last game, and now we're just ready to kick Netherlands' ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How big is the game against Netherlands tomorrow?
It's huge. It's huge. I mean, first game was good, but we gotta show up next time now as well. So big game tomorrow.
Awesome, man. You guys rock.
Yeah,
Thank you. You guys rock. All right. Yeah. So as I was saying, guys, I mean, just take a look. They are here taking over Houston as we try to squeeze by. This is going to be the biggest game that we get here in Houston, the most competitive one. Netherlands against Sweden. This is two European countries that are here to make a run for it. Guys, it's amazing atmosphere here at pitch 25. The Swedish are ready after starting the World Cup journey with a big win, 5-1. They're looking to take on the Netherlands, who are considered one of the strongest teams in this tournament. They have a really good team, one of the teams that could be making a run for it. So we'll see how this game pans out tomorrow. But let's walk a little bit more so you can check out what the Swedish are doing here, having a great time as they kick off their journey here in Houston. I mean, they have shown out in huge numbers. Excuse us, guys, excuse us. They are bringing the vibes, their culture. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm Cadilla. I've lived here for 37 years, but I'm Swedish.
This is an amazing turnout. I mean,
Of course, it's my country.
yeah, such a small country, but you guys show up in big numbers.
Yes, absolutely. Always.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. As you can see, they are excited, they are ready, and they're having a great time.
Yes, sir, we are.
Okay, man. Tomorrow against Netherlands. How big is this game against the Netherlands tomorrow?
It's huge. We've been super bad these late years, but found our wind all of a sudden. Hopefully it will continue, but they are good as well. But I have to say this. People from Holland, they are so rude. They think they are too good. They think that, they carry themselves with a bit of hubris.
I got a question real quick. The cowboy hat, did you get that here or you guys got cowboys back in Sweden?
No, from Bucky's. So go Bucky's, great place. I love the beef jerky. We love the cowboy style. You're great.
Hey, talk about the energy, man. You guys showed out, man. There's a lot of people here.
Of course. It's the World Cup. You talk about Super Bowl here in America. You have to understand, this is the biggest sport and the biggest event in the world.
There you have it, guys. You heard it straight from him. The World Cup fever. This is what it is. It's the biggest sporting event in the world, and it's really taking over Houston. Back to you guys.
Luis with some of his newest friends. Thank you, Luis. And of course, as we've seen when in Houston, do as the Houstonians do. A Netherlands fan in town, not just going to a baseball game, going home with a souvenir as well.
It was a foul ball?
Yeah, it was an off-field ball.
Yeah, we call them foul balls here.
Oh, sorry.
That's great.
Sorry.
The young man who says he'll always have a special place in his heart for the Astros. Here is a scene which will be repeated tomorrow morning around Rice. All those fans looking like tiny ants. So let's focus on one who is living his best life here in the U.S. Like when in Houston, going to an Astros game. Ron Trevino catching up with a new baseball fan who did something most old ones can only dream of.
So you're in Houston because you're going to see the Netherlands play in the World Cup, and you decide to go to an Astros game. What was that like for you?
So the story is actually funny because I tweeted about my arrival in Houston and I had some days to spare and asked locals for a good tip, and they tipped me the Astros game, and a guy pulled up with 4 tickets and invited me and my buddy to the game. So yeah, it was a surreal experience. Even walking up to the stadium, it felt like really big and almost like gigantic, I would say, like there was gonna be a massive experience. And we walked into our seat and I was just amazed how beautiful the ground was, and like somehow the atmosphere, it had some magical touch to it, whereas like you have a football pitch which is just pure grass. And so that was one thing that surprised me. And then also everywhere we went and sat, we had a great view on the baseball field, and yeah, that was simply amazing. Then, in addition to that, what I also surprised and what I found different than football matches or soccer matches is that with soccer, you're like 90 minutes kind of focused to the pitch. Whereas in baseball, it's more like a chill time, and there are some peak moments, for example, when there's a third ball or a third strike. But other than that, people are also chilling a lot and talking with each other. It's a really fun and nice event. So I was having such a good time, like genuinely such a good time, and they won. So I caught an off-field baseball, so it was the best time of my life.
You actually caught a baseball?
I caught a baseball. It's on my Twitter as well, and people went mad about that I caught one. Like they told me like it's so rare.
It was a foul ball?
Yeah, it was an off-field ball.
Yeah, we call them foul balls here.
Oh, sorry.
That's great.
Sorry.
That's great. I've never caught a ball. Did you try a hot dog? What did you eat?
So that's also a fun story. It was $1 Dog Day, so of course I had to buy loads. So I bought 6, and I got to 3 hot dogs, and then I was done.
What'd you think of the hot dogs?
They were all right. I wouldn't say it's the best stadium food I've ever had, but it was also definitely not bad. And with some good mustard and ketchup, it's just part of the baseball experience, they told me. And we had a great beer as well. So it was honestly an amazing experience.
And how are the Houston Astros fans treating you?
So welcoming. Like I tweeted where I was, and people just came up during the match, offered me a drink. I got like a merchandise from Astros. They gave me dolls from Astros. People just came up to me, say hi, ask for a photo, ask how I've been. Americans, like I wouldn't say surprised because it sounds a bit negative, but they overpassed my expectations of coming to this country, and like also users are so kind to me, and that's just how I feel now.
Americans or Houstonians were nicer than you thought they would be.
In a good way. Like, of course, I already expected them to be nice, but this is just surpassing my expectations. Like how friendly they are. Like, there's just a guy that sees a Dutch person in Houston, and he offers him 4 baseball tickets and gives him a ride safely home. Like those kind of things is very common here. What I've been told, or common, like it happens more, but in my country it just doesn't exist. Like no one would do that.
Are you a Houston Astros fan now for the rest of your life, or what?
Oh, that's difficult to say because I've only been to one game, and I think if you want to become a fan, you kind of have to see what's up there. But it was an amazing experience, so I would never turn against the Astros. I think that's the best answer.
Thank you, guys. And next, more passionate fans, this time from Haiti and Brazil, with the city of Philadelphia saying, "Bring it!" And it's the Brazilian player you need to keep an eye on. Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love, no stranger to intense fans, which means it's now the ideal home for all of the fun and chaotic energy coming from both Brazil and Haiti. Fans from each side weighing in on what tonight's match there means to them.
Soon I heard Haiti gonna be on World Cup this year. I've been so, I don't know, humble. I can sleep. I can explain.
We're not that happy about our performance, about the last game, but we hope that in the next one we'll be better.
So for Brazil, that last game was a 1-1 draw against Morocco. The lone goal coming from this man. That's why he's on the screen. What else should we know about him? Alicia Lewis is filling in the blanks.
Here's a player to watch, Vinicius Junior of Brazil. The 25-year-old representing his home country plays for Real Madrid CF. He scored 8 international goals coming into the tournament and is already known as one of the world's most electrifying soccer players. He now wears the number 7 shirt, previously worn by legends like Cristiano Ronaldo. Off the pitch, he's got a big passion for the NBA and is often seen wearing basketball jerseys. So just how much does he like the NBA? Well, he has a massive tattoo covering his entire back that features Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, as well as Pele and Muhammad Ali.
That is good stuff there. He's also tight with Texas legend Bijan Robinson, apparently. Again, Brazil, Haiti kicking off tonight, 7:30. Soccer fans packing Shell Energy Stadium. This was the scene last night. More than 20,000 there to watch Mexico and South Korea, according to the Dynamo. Dynamo offering another alternative when FanFest is at capacity, and people are responding with their largest watch party yet. And that's going to do it for us on Extra Time. Special thanks to Max Bretos for joining us. Of course, MLS is on Apple TV. And wishing our friends from both Sweden and the Netherlands good luck and good health tomorrow. We are back Monday on the free KHO11 streaming app. Let's take a look again at the crowd at pitch 25. Sweden is 34th in the world, but right now, number 1 at that joint, huh? Look at all the yellow. It should be an incredible match on Saturday, and we will see you on Monday.